Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Valama Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Brajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Srimad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Gaur. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 1, entitled Genealogical Table of the Daughters of Manu. Text number 13 and 14. Patni Marichastu Kala Susuve Kardamatmaja Kashyapam Purnimanam Cha Yayor Apuritam Jagad. Translation by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Kardamuni's daughter Kala, married to Marichi, gave birth to two children whose names were Kashyapa and Purnima. Their descendants are spread all over the world. Text 14. Purnima Sutta Virajam Vishwagam Cha Parantapa Devakulyam Hare Pada Sauchad Yabhut Sharid Diva Purnima Sutta Virajam Vishwagam Cha Parantapa Devakulyam Hare Pada Sauchad Yabhut Sharid Diva Purnima Sutta Virajam Vishwagam Cha Parantapa Devakulyam Hare Pada Sauchadhyabhut Shariddiva. Prabhuji.
Purnimasu tavirajam Vishwagam cha parantapa Punyam Hare Pada Shaucharya Bhutsaridivaha.
Mataji's.
Vishwagam cha parantapa Devakulya Haripada Saujanya Bhutsaridiva.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My dear Vidura, of the two sons, Kashyapa and Purnima, Purnima begot three children, namely Viraja, Vishwaga and Devakulya. Of these three, Devakulya was the water which washed the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead and which later on transformed into the Ganges of the heavenly planets. Purport. Of the two sons Kashyapa and Purnima, herein Purnima's descendants are described. An elaborate description of these descendants will be given in the 6th canto. It is also understood herein that Devakulya is the presiding deity of the river Ganges, which comes down from the heavenly planets to this planet and is accepted to be sanctified because it touched the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Snapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyanta Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pranayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaura Tushe Nama. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Virachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balbhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namah. Vanchakalpa tarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakturinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I'm feeling very honored and blessed to be here in Shri Radha Govinda temple. The first it is established by Srila Prabhupada. This New York is the birthplace of ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada established first temple in New York, and later on he established 108 temples around the world. Prabhupada spent his initial days and years here in New York, trying to establish his worldwide movement. Tomorrow is the day when Prabhupada arrived in America at Boston Harbor, and we see that he wrote such beautiful songs expressing his helplessness, expressing his desire to deliver the people all over the world, and especially of America. When he came here, his heart broke to see how much people are influenced by Rajagun and Tamagun, mode of passion and mode of ignorance, and felt very sorry, and he was wondering how will they understand this message of Krishna, message of Srimad Bhāgavatam. So he prayed that, my dear Krishna, if you so desire, by your will everybody has come under clutches of Maya, and if you so desire their deliverance, you can free from them from clutches of Maya, especially free them from this Tamagun and Rajagun. And if you bless, then only I will have some power to present your message, especially this message of Bhāgavatam. And Prabhupada said, I am very confident if this message of Bhāgavatam enter their ears, immediately it can purify their hearts. So this message of Bhāgavatam is actually extremely powerful. Etad atur chittanam matra sparsh ichchamuhu bhavasindhu plavo drishtu Ācāryaratna varanam. People are suffering this world. Why? Etad atur chittanam. They are in anxiety, they are in misery. Why? Matra sparsh ichchamuhu. Because of their desire for sense gratification, which is born out of mode of Tamagun and Rajagun, mode of passion. However, anybody hears this message of Krishna, message of Bhāgavatam, hears past tense of Krishna, Ācāryaratna, what happens? Bhavasindhu plavo drishtu. One can cross over this ocean of miseries just by this hearing the message of Bhāgavatam. So daily we take bath with waters, and if possible we can take bath with waters of Ganga. If one just remembers Ganga, 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 and then that water gets sanctified and we can take bath, and the body gets sanctified by that. And when we every day hear Srimad Bhāgavatam, our mind and hearts also get sanctified and purified. So Srila Prabhupada has so mercifully established this culture of daily taking bath with water and purifying our body, and daily taking bath with message of Srimad Bhāgavatam, purifying our minds and hearts. Anartha upashanam sakshat bhakti yogam adokshije. Lokasya ajanantu vidvans chakre satvata samita. Jai Shri Radha Govind Dev Bhagwan ki Jai, Shri Gaurita ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Lokasya ajanantu. People in this world, they don't know anartha upashanam sakshat, that all the impurities in the heart, all the troubles in the heart can be extinguished completely by bhakti yogam adakshya, by practice of bhakti yoga beginning with hearing and chanting. And because people don't know, Chakre Satvat Samhita, this Srimad Bhāgavatam, this Vyasadeva, incarnation Lord, literary incarnation, has compiled this Srimad Bhāgavatam for benefit of everyone. So this message of Bhāgavatam has a potency to purify everyone and to make everyone happily situated in this world. So here today we are studying from Srimad Bhāgavatam, 4th canto, 1st chapter, entitled The Genealogical Table of the Daughters of Manu, texts 13 and 14. So I seek blessings of all wonderful devotees assembled here, so that I can speak something for my own purification. So here we see in 4th canto, the description of how Swayambhu Manu and Shatarupa. Swayambhu Manu is son of Brahma. And from Manu, all Manavas came. So Manu is coming from Brahmaji, and from Manu and Shatarupa, they had 3 daughters, Akuti, Devuti and Prasuti. And they had 2 sons, Priyavrat and Uttanapad. Swayambhu Manu gave his daughter Akuti in marriage to Ruchi. And later on, from Ruchi, Supreme Person of Godhead, Yajna was born. So, Swayambhu Manu is grandfather of Supreme Lord, Yajna. Swayambhu Manu gave his another daughter, Devuti, to Kardam Muni. And another incarnation of Lord appeared as son of Devuti. What is his name? Kapil Dev. Can you imagine how great Swayambhu Manu is there? Yes. One daughter is giving birth to Yajna, Supreme Person of Godhead. Another daughter is giving birth to Kapil Dev, another Supreme Person of Godhead. And third daughter, Prasuti. He got married, Prasuti, to Daksha. And Daksha had many daughters, 16 daughters, and youngest was Sati, who was married to Lord Shiva. So Shiva is Swayambhu Manu's granddaughter, son-in-law. So, and many other great personalities are born from them, you know. So who's who of this creation, we can see. So you can just understand how great Swayambhu Manu and this family is. And we see Uttanapad, his son is Dhruva Maharaj, and his life comes later on. And there are many exalted descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. And then there is another son is Priyavrata, and he has also many exalted sons. So this Priyavrata and Manu, Priyavrata and Dhruva's dynasty ruled for the over whole earth for many, many centuries. So this Srimad Bhāgavatam is giving detailed genealogical table. And it is very amazing to see. Sometimes people think this Vedas or Puranas or Bhāgavatam is actually mythology. But actually we study, it's so amazing. Hundreds of generations of detailed names are given. His son is so and so, he had 5 sons, he had 7 sons, he had 10 sons, he had 11 sons, and all names, and they have this daughter, that daughter. And if you go to genealogy, it's impossible to think that it is some mental concoction of some humans. It is so detailed. So it's very, very inspiring. When I also first time read, especially all throughout the cantos, you will find genealogy. I really developed faith that yes, these personalities like Brahma or Manu, they are not imaginary, their descendants are still coming. Brahma is still alive, by the way, okay, he is not dead and gone. And his son Manu is also still there. Now 7th Manu is going on. Unfortunately, because of poor fund of knowledge, we think we have come from monkeys. Actually, we have not come from, we have come from great sages and who are coming from Manu, who is coming from Brahma. And Manu is still there. Okay, it's not that now 7th Manvantar going on. 7th Manu is going on. So here their descendants are, explained. And in today's verse, specifically, there is a description of, so all of you can repeat in translation after me. So here I will just read from 12th translation. Swayambhu Manu handed over his daughter Prasuti to the son of Brahma named Daksha, who was also one of the progenitors of the living entity. The descendants of Daksha are spread throughout the 3 worlds. 12th. You have already been informed about the 9 daughters of Kardama who were handed over to 9 different sages. I shall now describe the descendants of those 9 daughters. Please hear from me. So, Dehuti was married to Kardama. Kardama and Dehuti had first 9 daughters and then one son. One son was Kapil Dev, whose elaborate description is given in 3rd canto. And now the descendants of this daughters is being explained. So, Kardama Muni's daughter Kala was married to Marichi, who gave birth to 2 children, whose names were Kashyapa and Purnima. And their descendants are spread all over the world. Today's verse, my dear Vidura, of the 2 sons, Kashyap and Purnima, Purnima begot 3 children, namely Viraja, Vishwaga, Devakulya. Of these 3, Devakulya was the water which washed the lotus feet of personality of Godhead and which later on transformed into Ganges of the heavenly planets. So, it's Dehuti's son Purnima, my dear, with 2 sons, Kashyapa and Purnima. Purnima's daughter, Purnima's daughter is this Ganga, Mother Ganga. And Prabhupada is giving purport that this Mother Ganga is one who descended from heavenly to earth. There is a description further in Srimad Bhāgavatam about elaborate how the Sagar Putras were burned to ashes because of their offense to Kapil Muni, Kapil Dev, and later on how Sagar descendants of them tried very hard to deliver this children's, and for that they tried to bring Mother Ganga, and the generations of them really worked hard. And finally Bhagirath, it was Bhagirath who was able to please Mother Ganga and request Mother Ganga to come here and deliver his forefathers. So when Mother Ganga was pleased with Bhagirath's efforts, Mother Ganga said, yes, I can definitely come, but I have 2 problems. First problem, she said, I am now in heavenly planets. If I have to come to earth and if I jump, the force will be so high that earth will be dislocated from its position, and that will create big problem. So maybe there I need proper something on which I can land, which will not, which will take care of the force of me and it will not disturb the earth. And then second, she said that if I come, people on earth who are very addicted to sinful life, they may come and take bath in me and deposit all their sin, and I will get contaminated. And if I get contaminated, how I will be purified? Bhagirath said, don't worry, my dear mother Ganga, I will pray to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva can provide you safe landing place, and earth will not be disturbed by that. And you don't have to worry about your contamination, because if you appear here on earth, so many sinful people will come and take bath, definitely. But saintly people will also come. Vaishnavas will come and take bath. And when Vaishnavas come, saintly people come and take bath in you, you will be completely purified. Then when Mother Ganga heard these things, she was convinced. She said, okay, I am ready. Then Bhagirath again performed tapasya to please Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was pleased, and he agreed to accept Mother Ganga on his jata, in his jata. So Mother Ganga from heaven jumped on the jata of Lord Shiva, and then Lord Shiva released Ganga from his jata and started flowing. And when it's coming, Ganga, it was passing by Mayapur, near Mayapur, Navadip. There was a great saint, Janumuni, who was doing his tapasya, and he had his kamandalu. And when Ganga came, she washed out the kamandalu. He was wondering, where my kamandalu went, And then he saw this river is going, so immediately he swallowed the entire river, And then when Bhagirath was going ahead, he saw there is no river. What happened? Then he found out this sage has swallowed the entire river. So he begged to Bhagirath, please, he begged to Janu Muni, please release Mother Ganga. My descendants have to be delivered. And then he released Mother Ganga from his Janu in his thighs. So therefore, Mother Ganga came to be known as Janava. And so from there, Mother Ganga also is called Janava. And then Mother Ganga went to where she met Sagar, ocean, Ganga Sagar, and then all the descendants of Sagar Maharaj were delivered. So we see that Krishna has performed many beautiful pastimes in Yamuna, and Ganga also offered prayers to Lord that maybe I can also get that opportunity. So Lord Chaitanya performed wonderful pastimes in Ganga. So Ganga is very pure, and just by taking bath in Ganga, not only one gets purified, one can develop love for God. So we see Lord Chaitanya loved Mother Ganga very much. So when he was a sannyasi, he was living in Puri. He told devotees, I want to visit my two mothers, Sachimata and Mother Ganga. So I want to go to Bengal. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu travelled from Puri to go to Navadip so that he can take bath in Mother Ganga and also get association of Mother Sachi. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu respected Ganga as mother. And we see Srila Prabhupada also was born on the banks of Adi Ganga. Ganga flows through Calcutta, and just a few meters from Srila Prabhupada's birthplace is Adi Ganga. And it is said that when there used to be rainy season, sometimes water would flood and come to the place of Prabhupada's birthplace, So Prabhupada was also born. So Mother Ganga is always purifying everyone. Similarly, Vaishnavas, it is said, to get purified, one has to take bath in Mother Ganga. But Vaishnavas so merciful. Darshana pavitra kari, ei tomar. Just by seeing Vaishnavas, one gets purified. So this section we see in Canto 4th, first section is talking about Daksha Yajna. In third canto, Kapil Dev is explaining to Mother Dehuti about devotional service, and he is explaining about devotional service in three modes. Bhakti done by people in mode of tamagun, ignorance; bhakti done by people in mode of passion; bhakti done by people in mode of goodness. So this first episode is there about Daksha Yajna. So this is the bhakti done by people in tamagun. So Daksha Yajna is one of the most ghastly episode in Bhāgavatam. Daksha is devotee, but there's a lot of fights and conflicts in that. And next section is of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj went to Lord to fulfill his material desires. So that is bhakti done in mode of passion. And then another section comes in fourth canto is of Prabhu Maharaj. How Prabhu Maharaj was performing 100 Ashwamedha yajnas. 99 he did successfully. 100 there was some difficulty because Indra became insecure and he started stealing away the horse. And finally matter became very this thing, and that time Brahma came and told Prabhu that you sacrifice your 100 sacrifice. And Prabhu Maharaj happily sacrificed his 100 sacrifice. And Lord was so pleased that Lord, before the sacrifice being done, Lord appeared. He was pleased by the sacrifice of the sacrifice. And Lord appears after sacrifice. Here, when he sacrificed the 100 sacrifice, Lord was appeared. So, right beyond right. So Prabhu's behaviors are wonderful exemplary. So that is bhakti in mode of goodness. So when we see this section which we are studying now, especially this section of Daksha Yajna, we see that how Daksha one time there was this yajna being arranged, and all devatas, great demigods have assembled, fire gods, sages, all had assembled, including Brahma and Shiva also. And then finally, Daksha entered the assembly. As soon as Daksha entered the assembly, Daksha was so effulgent. Even effulgence of other devatas and even fire gods diminished in front of him. And everybody stood up to offer respect to Daksha. Except these two personalities. One was Brahma, and Daksha had no issue that Brahma did not get up, because Brahma is his father and the spiritual master of everybody in this world. So he understood, okay, he is my superior, so he doesn't have to get up. But when he saw that Shiva did not get up, he was very disturbed. And because he was thinking, I gave my daughter Sati in marriage to Shiva, so Shiva is my son-in-law, so he is my inferior. I am his superior. He has to offer respect to father-in-law. What is this? He doesn't have etiquettes, he has no manners. And he started criticizing left and right. So he spoke in that assembly where Brahma is there, all devatas are there, sages are there. Oh, please hear me with attention, for I am not speaking out of envy or ignorance. When person has some envy and ignorance, sometimes he thinks I am speaking not out of envy and ignorance. Though actually he was speaking out of envy and ignorance. He said, I am going to speak without envy and ignorance. Please hear. This Shiva has polluted the path of gentle manners, and by doing so, he is spoiling the good reputation of demigods. By marrying my daughter, he has become my subordinate, and yet he is so shameless that he did not even bother to stand up to receive me or offer me any words of welcome. He lives in filthy places like crematoriums, and his companies are all ghosts and demons. He does not bathe regularly, and he decorates his body with ashes and garlands that are made of skulls and bones. Going naked like a madman, he sometimes laughs and sometimes cries, and thus he is Shiva, auspicious in name only. His name is Shiva, auspicious, but his activities are not like that. It is because of Lord Brahma's request that I gave my chaste daughter to him, even though he is devoid of cleanliness and good behavior. So he said, my daughter is so beautiful and so wonderful. I never wanted to give my daughter in marriage to this uncivilized fellow. But what to do? My father pushed me, so I had to give. But just see now how he is behaving. And then he cursed Shiva. He said, while looking at Shiva as if he were enemy, Daksha cursed him, saying, Lord Shiva, who is the lowest of the demigod, should no longer receive a share of the sacrificial offerings. Actually, when Daksha gave this curse, Lord Shiva was very happy, because Lord Shiva was not interested in these offerings and association with materialistic demigods. He always is interested in taking prasad. He is not interested in ordinary this offering. And Lord Shiva was not disturbed, he just sat peacefully. He was calm. Daksha was angry, and he was blaspheming. But then what happened? Shiva's follower, Nandi, when he saw his master being criticized by this Daksha, he became very upset. And immediately Nandi started blasting. He said, whoever due to envy has accepted Daksha to be more important than Lord Shiva, may he become bereft of all transcendent knowledge. All Daksha's followers, may they become bereft of all transcendent knowledge. Because Daksha is simply attached to his body and sex intelligence and is thus devoid of any good intelligence, he will soon receive the face of a goat. His consciousness is like goat. He is having human body, human face, but his consciousness is like goat. So may he get goat face. And later on we will see that he gets a goat face actually. And then Nandi continued. May those who have insulted Lord Shiva due to having been as dull as matter by cultivation of materialistic education continue in cycle of repeated birth and death. said, all Daksha's followers, may they continue in cycle. And then he said, since the Brahmanas who supported Daksha perform religious rituals only for the purpose of maintaining their bodies, let them become bereft of all discrimination as to what is fit to eat and what is not. Let them beg for money by going door to door simply for the purpose of gratifying their senses. So, Daksha is a leader, and Bhrigu and all other Brahmanas are, were supporting Daksha. So basically, he cursed Bhrigu and all the Brahmanas that what all he cursed? He said they may be bereft of transcendental knowledge. May they continue in cycle of birth and death, and may they lose all discrimination, what to eat, what not to eat, and may they just go door to door begging simply for purpose of gratifying their senses. And we can see even today the curse so that mentality. Sometimes they don't have real knowledge, and sometimes we see they are eat anything nowadays, discrimination, and sometimes people may do rituals just for sake of bodily maintenance. So Nandishwan gave dangerous curses. So Bhrigu Muni, who heard it, he got very agitated, he disturbed. How dare Nandi give curses? What does he think himself of? And then he is also a very powerful personality. So he started condemning. Those who follow Lord Shiva will become atheist and thus diverted from genuine Vedic principles. Oh, you followers of Shiva, you are cursing us. I curse that may you become atheistic. You are thinking we will lose trans knowledge, you will lose everything, you will just become atheistic only. And you become diverted from genuine Vedic principles. So, the devotees of Lord Shiva are so foolish that they try to imitate Lord Shiva by having long hair, and they substitute upon wine, flesh and other such abominable things. Because they blaspheme the Brahmanas who are true followers of Vedic principles, the devotees of Lord Shiva must be considered to have already come under the sway of atheistic doctrine. So, basically, he said, we are Brahmanas, followers of Veda, you are cursing us? You are already fallen down. Yes. And he cursed that all followers of Shiva become atheistic and they deviate. And we see that's what happened. All this impersonalism has come up. Impersonalism is nothing but atheism only. The doctrine has come up because of this curse. So we see people may think they are followers of Shiva, but if you hear them, they are speaking actually atheism. They don't believe in God. They think there is, they speak word jugglery, and in conclusion is that there is no God. Or they will conclude, I am only God, everybody is God. They will be deviant. So these curses are very powerful. When great people curse, it goes generations together. So world is actually suffering because of that. We see Parikshit Maharaj bless Kali, that you can stay at 5 places. So 5,000 years ago, till now Kali is there. What are 5 places? Where there is meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication. There is Kali. And where there is accumulation of wealth, there is Kali. Therefore Prabhupada said we should follow 4 principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication, so that we can be saved from the influence of Kali. And we should not accumulate wealth. We should use wealth in service of Krishna, in propagating Krishna consciousness. So, because those effect, the great personalities, curses and blessings have great impact and continue generations. So, these curses of Nandishwar, Nandi, and curse of Bhrigu is continuing even now. So, but somehow, by mercy of all our Acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, Srila Prabhupada coming down, still we have some hope to understand real dharma and follow the path. So here we see this episode is very ghastly. Later on it so happened that when Lord Shiva sees that his followers are cursing and Daksha's followers are cursing. Actually Daksha, he cursed Lord Shiva and very angrily left the sacrifice arena. And when Shiva saw his followers are cursing and Bhrigu and others are cursing, then he also left and went away. And then after that we see that again, but yajna continued, and then later on that yajna was completed. It took 1000 years for that yajna to complete. And after that yajna was done, then again this Daksha started another yajna, Vajpayee yajna and Brihaspati Sava yajna. And he invited everybody, all devatas and all great sages. But he did not invite Lord Shiva and his daughter Sati for the sacrifice. But when Sati was there, she saw in the sky so many, all devatas are going and they were talking and she could hear they are going to her father's place. So she requested Shiva that, my dear Shivji, we can also go. My father is arranging nice yajna. Father, Shiva said, we are not invited, why should we go? He said no, she said no. In close family bonds, if there is very close friend or family member, in father's home and spiritual master home, very intimate friends home, we can go without invitation also, no problem. He said, yes, we can go, but if they are envious, if they are angry, if they are, if anybody receives guest with raised eyebrows and angry eyes, that place is, one is not supposed to go here. So your father is, he will not receive us properly, so better not go. Then she was very disturbed because her all sisters were going and she was not able to go, so she was going back and forth. In her mind she was thinking, this cold war is going between my father and husband for so many years, maybe I should go and convince my father and settle the matter properly once and for all. So with that desire she just left. And when she left alone, then Maniman and all other followers of Lord Shiva, they understood there will be some problem for Sati. So for protection, her protection, they followed her. They made her sit on Nandi, they arranged very wonderful procession with musical concert and all this thing. They went. And when Sati reached sacrificial arena, actually she was not received by Daksha and no brahmanas or no sages welcome Sati because they were afraid if they welcome Sati and Daksha may get upset on them. So nobody received. But Sati's mother and sisters welcomed her. And when Sati saw there was no arrangement for Shiva and she became very upset. And then she chastised heavily her father. She said, my dear father, you are so envious of Lord Shiva. He is so exalted and you are so abominable. So in that Bhāgavatam there are purport which explain there are 6 types of people. There are some people who see both good and bad, but they choose bad. They can see good and bad, but while they are choosing, they choose bad. So they are demons. Or like fly. Fly will go everywhere. Even if fly goes in garden, it will see some abominable thing and sit there. So fly-like people are there. So they are adhama. Then there are second type of people are, they only see bad. They cannot see any good. Even if good is there, they are blind to good. They can only see good. They can only see bad. Like people like Duryodhana. He was sent to survey the kingdom and find out if anybody is better than him. He went and he saw faults with everybody and he said, I am the best. Nobody is equal to me or better than me. He saw faults in everyone and came back. So that are another kind of adhamatar. They can only see faults in everybody. They cannot say anything good. Then there are third category of people. They see little fault and will magnify it like anything. They are adhamattama. They are most fallen. And Sati said, my dear father, you are like that. You can't see anything good. And Lord Shiva's little something you are taking out of context and magnifying it and criticizing Lord Shiva. Though Lord Shiva is being worshipped and honored by all the sages and great personalities, including Brahma. Brahma takes the water washed by which has washed the lotus feet of Shiva and puts on his head. Is he a fool? And you are finding faults with him? You are the lowest of the low, most abominable person. And he said there are other people, fourth class of people, they see both good and bad, but they choose good. Like bumblebee. Bumblebee can, even if dirty place she goes, she will sit on flower and take the nectar. Like we see great personalities like Kali, great personality like Parikshit Maharaj. When Kali surrendered to Parikshit Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj gave shelter to Kali also. Sages were wondering, why Parikshit gave shelter to Kali? Sutta Goswami says, Nanu deshti Kalim Samrat, Sarang Iva Sarabhuk. Because Parikshit Maharaj was not envious. Rather, he was like bumblebee. He was able to see good in everyone. Definitely, he saw bad of Kali, but he also saw good in him. He saw Kushalani Asiddhanti Natarene Kritaniya. So, in Kali Yuga, even if you think something good, that gets results, even without doing. And in Kali Yuga, unless we do something bad, we don't get results. Bad things you have to physically do, then only results come. Good things, even if you do in mind, you get result. So Parikshit could see that good and give shelter to Kali also. Also we see Kali has special facility. If there may be many faults, but if somebody chants holy names of Lord, Kirtanat eva Krishna se mukta sangapanam, he can be delivered. So Parikshit saw both good and bad in Kali, but he chose the good and gave shelter to Kali. And then there are other people who can only see good. They cannot see bad in anyone. Like Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj was sent by Dronacharya. You can find any person who is inferior to you. Yudhishthira Maharaj went all over the kingdom. He couldn't find anyone inferior to him. Rather, he saw good qualities in everyone. And he said, everybody is better than me. I am most fallen. I am the most lowly person. So sadhu and sadhutara. Sadhutara means he cannot see bad in anyone. He thinks everybody is better than me. And sadhutama means you will see little good and magnify. So Sati said, my husband Shiva, he sees little good in people and magnifies that, and he gives shelter to everyone, including bhutas and pretas and pishachas and all useless guys, He will see good in them also and give shelter. And you are so rascal, even such an exalted person like Shiva, you are finding fault, little fault and magnifying it. I don't want to be called as your daughter. Rather, whenever my husband Shiva calls me as Dakshayani, I feel so morose and I feel so uncomfortable. So, I don't want to be called as your daughter. So, I will. She said, anybody blasphemes saintly person, either one should leave that assembly, and if possible, one can pluck out that person's tongue and kill that person. But she said, I don't want to kill you because you are my father, and second, if I kill you, all people will criticize Shiva. They will think that he has used me to kill you. So better I kill myself. I just destroy my body which I have got from you because I want no connection with you. And thinking like that, she just meditated and ignited the fire within and burned herself. And there was a great chaos, and then we see that, and then immediately the Maniman, all the followers of Shiva who came, they became so angry, they couldn't protect Sati. So then they went to attack Daksha and all the Brahmanas. But Bhrigu chanted mantras and created some powerful demigods who defeated all the Shiva's followers. And that news went to Shiva. And when Shiva heard that his wife is, she committed suicide and burned her body, she was disturbed. Immediately he came, rather he just plucked his hair, chanted mantra and created Veerbhadra, very powerful personality. And that Veerbhadra went and created havoc, spoiled all the sacrifice, and then he chopped off the head of, Daksha. So ghastly things, And actually Daksha is a devotee in one sense, he is not a demon. Shiva is also devotee. So later on, all devatas when saw, they got very bewildered, so they went to Brahma, what to do. Brahma chastised them, you fools, you don't know how to respect Shiva, so you should go and beg forgiveness. Already Shiva is disturbed now because he has lost his wife, and you all have joined Daksha and criticized. So unless Shiva is pleased, you won't have peace. So all devatas go beg forgiveness from Shiva, glorify Shiva. Then Shiva comes, and then he joins the goat head to Daksha's body and brings Daksha back to life. And then he make adjustments, whatever destruction was there, he adjusts some things, and everybody is happy that ultimately Daksha again came back. But Daksha, when he was having goat head, he was not very happy. And he was happy that he got his life. He thanked Lord Shiva, begged forgiveness, all this. So this episode is a very ghastly episode, fight between among devotees in one sense. So Daksha is a devotee in Tamagun. He is a great devotee, very exalted devotee actually. When he performed tapasya, Supreme Lord Vishnu also came. In one way, so very exalted, but still somehow he had envy in his heart towards Shiva. And somehow he was a little puffed up and proud. So when one is proud, one finds fault with others, and one sees good in others, or good in oneself. And when one is humble person means he will see good in others and fault in oneself. So if you are a neophyte devotee means he is generally envious and puffed up. And when neophytes come together, stay together, there will be always fight, conflict, and there is a lot of management headache. So one has to rise from Kanishta to Madhyama platform. Madhyama platform means one becomes humble, one becomes respectful to others, one is able to appreciate others. And if any problem happens, he tries to see his fault and tries to rectify himself instead of trying to rectify others. So, you see that this fourth canto, first section is describing about this Daksha Yajna. And so we have to be all very careful that we are all coming in Krishna consciousness from outside world. We are also influenced by Tamagun, Rajagun. So by hearing this path, we should know that we should not act in this way. Be envious of others, criticize others, find fault with others, curse others, and all that thing. Rather, we should try to appreciate, serve, and please devotees, cooperate with devotees. His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada in 1977, in final days when he was in Vrindavan, he had become very, very weak. So one devotee, when he came to meet Prabhupada, Prabhupada's secretary had sent message that Prabhupada may leave the world anytime. So all devotees, they can come and meet Prabhupada. So when one devotee came, and when he saw Prabhupada Prabhupada was going in palanquin to take darshan, but he was like just bones. Practically there were no muscles and all that. He was so big and so thin. So when he saw, practically started crying, seeing Prabhupada in that situation. And then he went to Prabhupada and said, "My dear Prabhupada, I pray that may my youth, may Krishna give my youth to you, and you stay long life. And may I die, because anyway, what is use of my life? My life is insignificant. Your life is so precious. If you stay, there will be, whole world will be benefited by your stay." So he was crying and offered this prayer. Prabhupada looked at him. He said, "Okay, this sentiment is good," he said, "that you want to give your life to me." But he said, "Your real love, you can show your real love to me by how you cooperate with other devotees to push forward this moment ahead." Yes, giving life for Prabhupada, very nice. But he said, better than that is, you can show your love actually in action by cooperating with devotees to push forward this mission. So, we should be devotees, but not like Daksha. We should rise above, and we should try to cooperate with devotees, serve devotees, appreciate devotees. And if there is any difficulty, find fault with oneself and rectify oneself. And try to see how I can become better so that I can cooperate and push forward this mission. So here we see in today's verse the description of descendants of Swayambhu Manu, and in today's specific verse, description of how Purnima had 3 children, and one of them is Devakulya, who became Ganga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So thank you very much. Anybody has any comment, any question, any discussion? Okay. Thank you. Yes. Arshaba. Arshaba? Yes.
So, my question is that sometimes we see good and bad both in someone. So how can we cut seeing bad in others? Because sometimes it is it overpowers seeing good in others, and because of that we act in such a way that we may hurt or offend devotees. So how should we cut that?
So, we may see both good and bad. But sometimes we may be focused on bad, and we may speak out of it, or speak that, or that may stick to our mind more, and good may go in background and we may forget good. Yeah. So as here it is said, these are various types of people are there. By default, when we come in the initial stage of Krishna, we may have that demonic tendency that we see good and bad, but we choose bad. So Krishna consciousness means we are working hard to become divine. Working hard means we have to put efforts. Yes, we are seeing good and bad, and by spontaneously we are choosing bad. So we have to little bit pause. Maybe we can sometimes write diary if I am able to see. So if I am become critical of any devotee, write down diary, okay, and write down good qualities. Because spontaneously we are able to see bad, so consciously we can keep a diary, especially if a devotee we are living within, some bad is disturbing us. So we can take effort, sit down and write his good qualities. And if you are not able to see good, when you sit down nothing is coming, then we can go to some devotee who is friend of him or who is very appreciative of him and hear from him, "My dear Prabhu, can you please tell me about his wonderful qualities and activities?" And those devotees will tell, "Hey Prabhu, don't you know, he is this wonderful devotee, he is that, this." And when you hear, then we will be able to see. And we can note it down, so that whenever some bad thoughts come, then we can refer to this, we can remind this. And we can also pray to Krishna that, "My dear Krishna, please bless me. I become bumblebee like devotee and not fly like devotee." Somehow from millions of lifetimes of previous samskara, I am naturally becoming like fly, like devotee, but I want to become bumblebee, like devotee. And we can pray that we can follow the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya's instruction is Trunadapi Sunichin, Tarorima Sanishnu, Amanina Manadina, Kirtaniya Sadhari. We have to become humble, we have to become tolerant, we have to honor and respect everyone and not expect respect for oneself. Because only then we will be able to chant and continue chanting. So humility means see good in others and find fault with oneself. Pride means seeing fault in others and seeing good in oneself. So we can consciously try to cultivate humility. I want to be humble. And we can take help of devotees. Devotees are very humble. If you meet them, they will be able to tell so many wonderful qualities of others. So, in our session devotees, we can develop these wonderful qualities. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay? Srimad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitya Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. This?
Oh, that's your mic, eh? I've only seen the road mic.
Yesterday,
that road mic is not.
Yesterday, I saw that some mic was going along with the cordless.
Yeah, it was like a clip-on mic that these.
Sati Pratha came from Sati only?
Huh? Yeah, yeah. Sati burned her body out of love for Shiva.
Okay, so that is.
Generally, then